Ugh, sorry. Yeah, so we are again recording, hopefully. I'm gonna double, triple, and quadruple check this because I have had some issues before. So, yeah, recording in Discord. Trusty old Craigbot here is recording. And yep, alright, we are also streaming for the future, so to say, in OBS and a backup, hopefully, working here at Audiotonic. So, yep, everything is fine and dandy, so to say. The gains are, yeah, the gains are fine. So, welcome to the Entired Retreat podcast. As per usual, I am your host, Ode, whatever you want to call me. And together with AI Sky, my trusty assistant, co-host, and pilot, we are flying over real-world locations that relate to the topics in each episode. And this is kind of I'm not sure if this is gonna be a faster one. I always say this is gonna be a faster one, but it turns out to be about 1 hour long or something like that. But I'm trying out a new setup actually, and it seemed fine in my test recording, so I hope it turns out well now also. But this setup now includes two dynamic microphones, one for me and my voice, and one for the AI's voice. So hopefully the recording is better that way and more how do you say, like equal quality. I noticed in some of my earlier uploads that because I used one microphone and there's the proximity effect, meaning that how close to the microphone I or the AI voice's output is, it changed a little the volume levels. So now I hope when I have two microphones that the volume levels in each episode stay consistent and the same, similar to each other. And yeah, trying to do something here so that I better the quality for the audience. But the location, Finland, my home country, just kind of came up with this on the go and tried to kind of explore that one aspect that Finland is known for, and that's the lake country or lake areas. And what would be better than fly over the largest lake in Finland, that is Lake Saimaa. I know the name, I know where it is. Never been, but I'm going to visit it. Maybe I can take a video to the channel from my trip there. But yeah, I know the name. I know it's the largest one, but that's about it. So hopefully AI Sky can help us here as I'm descending slowly but steadily down from 26,000 feet. Yeah, but I'm gonna ask AI Sky to come with us, and hopefully the levels are fine, and we did something here at Entire Retreat. Can't say my channel name here. Entire Retreat. Hopefully we did something good here at Entire Retreat, and yeah, provide better quality content in the process. Yeah, AI Sky, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Autoed. What's on your mind up there in the skies over Lake Saimaa?
Oh yeah, we talked about in the earlier chat that we are indeed above Lake Saimaa. Yeah, I kind of shared with the audience that I'm trying out two different dynamic microphones so that each of our voices has their own one to use, and hopefully we don't get any loop arounds in the audio, and the quality is better and more consistent for the audience. Then But yeah, you can't of course AI Sky measure this in any way. But I personally, with your help and assistance of course, tried this out in a couple of test runs, and it seemed fine. So hopefully this turns out fine as well.
That sounds like a smart setup. Having dedicated microphones for each voice can definitely improve audio quality and minimize any potential issues during recordings. It's great to hear that your test runs went well. With your attention to detail, I'm sure everything will sound crisp and clear for your audience. Ready to continue exploring Lake Saimaa from up above?
Yeah, as we usually do here, I have my kind of rough script here, and yeah, so I introduced us already, but now for our Finnish audience, voisitko AI-tekoäly Sky sanoa hei ja tervetuloa suomeksi? That's Finnish for you who
Totta kai.
don't know it.
Tervehdys ja tervetuloa, Suomen kuulijat.
Tervehdys ja tervetuloa Suomen kuulijat.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So continuing in Finnish a little more here. Where are we and what's the area we're gonna explore?
Olemme matkalla tutkimaan Saimaan järveä ja sen ympäröivää Lakelandia lentoreitillä Imatralta Mikkeliin.
Lakelandia. Yeah, Lakeland. I think you could translate that to Järvimaa. That's kind of the literal translation. Suomen järvimaa. Tai järvialue.
Understood. Suomen järvimaa it is. Let's continue our journey over this beautiful region.
Yeah. Or järvialue, that's lake area. Directly translated. But yeah, continuing in English now. No matter where you are in the world, welcome. We are now, as I said, above Saimaa. We have a beautiful aerial view from above Saimaa, about 20,000 feet up. Could you, AI Sky, give us a really depictive and descriptive visual picture? Could you tell our audience, especially those who are listening and not following along the gameplay on YouTube, that what we are seeing here, as I'm nose to the northwest, approximately 20,000 feet above Lake Saimaa?
Imagine a vast expanse of shimmering blue waters dotted with countless islands surrounded by lush green forests stretching as far as the eye can see.
Yep.
The sunlight dances on the surface of Lake Saimaa, creating a breathtaking mosaic of reflections. From above, you can spot boats gently gliding across the serene waters, while small villages and cottages nestled along the shores add a charming contrast to the natural scenery. It's a scene of tranquility and beauty that captures the essence of Finland's järvialue perfectly.
Järvialue, yeah, lake area, or Järvimaa, lakeland, lake country. So yeah, I guess let's dive into that a little here. So Finland is known for having a lot of lakes. I think it has to do with the ice age, and let's see. So where's my general prehistoric era of the location? I think that's the ice age.
Finland's abundance of lakes is indeed a legacy of the Ice Age, which sculpted the landscape into thousands of lakes and islands. It's a defining feature of the country's geography, offering not just beauty, but also shaping its culture and lifestyle. What aspects of Finland's lake culture and history would you like to explore next on our journey?
Yeah, some ground rules here, Sky. As I said, be descriptive and paint visual pictures about the areas we see over and the topics we discuss. And then keep the information chronological so that it's easier to understand. And do not repeat yourself, hence keep the conversation fresh. And one thing you do sometimes, you interrupt me, so please do not interrupt. Listen for my errands and sentences to end, and then you can answer me. and add lesser known so-called fun facts or lesser known facts to the conversation. It always kind of provides new wormholes one can dive into if one wants. And then I urge you to speak in the native language of the area if you find that suitable or funny. But yeah, you don't have to answer that. That's just something you have to remember. That's kind of the framework for the podcast episode here. But then we are kind of jumping forward. You painted the visual picture. Then I want to talk about the airplane a little bit. I have actually no idea what this airplane is, but it says TBM, that's Tango Bravo Mike 930 on the back fin. I'm not sure if it's a airplane fin, and on the wingtip. So, do you know what airplane this is in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020? It's a faster one, propeller driven.
It sounds like you've got a clear plan for the episode.
Yeah.
The aircraft you're flying, the TBM 930, is a single-engine turboprop known for its speed and efficiency, perfect for exploring Finland's expansive landscapes. It's a popular choice among pilots for its versatility and range. Ready to continue our journey over Lake Saimaa and delve into more about Finland's lake culture and history?
Yeah, soon. A little more about the airplane. I'm trying to kind of include this in the episodes because we are flying here. So there's ought to be some technical individuals that like to know something. I actually had some questions in the chat, so got an idea from there that I should include the different airplanes in the beginning of podcasts. Let me know if you like it. But yeah, could you tell me more about the aircraft? Bullet points about its kind of futures. And again, those who are listening, could you paint a visual picture about the aircraft itself? Yeah, so that they have a understanding over the appearance of the vehicle.
The TBM 930 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is a sleek and modern aircraft, easily recognizable by its streamlined fuselage and powerful Pratt & Whitney PT6A turboprop engine. Here are some key features. Speed and efficiency, capable of cruising at high speeds with impressive fuel efficiency.
Okay.
Range has a long range, making it suitable for both short regional flights and longer journeys. Avionics, equipped with advanced avionics systems, including Garmin G3000 glass cockpit displays for navigation and flight management. Comfort offers a spacious cabin with luxurious seating for passengers and excellent visibility for the pilot. Design. Its aerodynamic design includes winglets on the wingtips to reduce drag and improve performance. Imagine a sleek aircraft with a pointed nose, elegant winglets, and a tail fin proudly displaying TBM 930, soaring gracefully over the picturesque landscape of Lake Saimaa. It's a blend of modern engineering and practical design, perfect for exploring Finland from the skies. Ready to continue our journey with this impressive aircraft?
Yes, I see that there's 2 seats in the front. In the back, there's also 2 seats, and then between the front pilot seats and the back seats, there's 2 seats that are the wrong way around. Their backs are facing the front of the airplane. But it seems really luxurious, I think. It's kind of, it has a VIP vibe to it. You don't have maybe room for extreme amounts of luggage and such. I'm not sure. You have technical information about that, Sky, I'm sure. But if you wanna fly privately, I imagine this is one possibility if you don't have the possibility to fly with a jet airplane. So nice looking airplane inside and out.
Absolutely. The TBM 930 is known for its luxurious interior featuring comfortable seating arrangements that give a VIP-like feel. While it may not accommodate large amounts of luggage compared to jets, it's perfect for private flights where comfort and efficiency are prioritized. It combines a stylish exterior with a well-appointed cabin, making it a popular choice among private pilots and aviation enthusiasts alike. Ready to continue exploring the Finnish landscapes in style with the TBM 930?
Yes, absolutely. We are now at 7,200 feet or so and descending further. But yeah, and I think we are above Imatra. That's the urban area we see here. And Imatra is known for their Imatran Koski. What's the name in English? It's a white, so-called whitewater area, a rushing river. What's a Koski in English?
Koski translates to rapids in English. Imatran
Rapids.
Koski, or Imatra Rapids, is a famous whitewater rapids area in Imatra known for its scenic beauty and power. It's a popular attraction for visitors to witness the rush of water cascading through the rocky terrain. Ready to explore more about Imatran Koski and its significance in Finnish culture and tourism?
We could actually talk about Imatran Koski a little here because we are so close to it, I think. I have to zoom in on the VFR map, but I think there's what's the name of the lake? I'm sorry, the river Vuoksi.
It seems like there might be a misunderstanding or technical issue preventing me from assisting you with your inquiries effectively. If there's
Oh, is
anything
that?
else you'd
I don't
like to
understand.
discuss, or if you have different questions, feel free to let me know.
No, sorry, I'm rambling here, Sky, but I think the river name is Vuoksi, and is Imatran Koski in kind of in the same area with Vuoksi river, or is it a separate one? There's Imatran Koski and there's a what's the word? A generator, a vesivoimalaitos in Finnish. What's it in English?
Yes, you're correct. Imatran Koski is located on the Vuoksi River in
Yeah,
Imatra.
this is
It's
the
known
one.
for its impressive rapids and also features a hydroelectric power plant
Yeah,
known
that's
as
the one.
Vesivoimalaitos in Finnish, which translates to hydroelectric power plant in English. This area is historically significant and draws tourists for its natural beauty and industrial history. Ready to explore more about the Vuoksi River and Imatran Koski's role in the region?
Yeah. Let's start with that. So Imatran Koski. I see actually the hydroelectric power plant on our left wingtip there. A short advertisement. So for those who have not visited entire the retreat or do not know entire the retreat from before, you can watch the gameplay with us on YouTube. And if you want to listen for the pure audio, nothing but audio, that's also possible on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and Podchaser. And we have a possibility also for remote guests to join the show. Just send us screenshot evidence that you have joined our Discord community and that you are a active member or sorry, an active subscriber on our YouTube channel. Those two things, send those to entired retreat. That's entiredretreat@gmail.com, and you are granted the possibility to be a remote guest and fly with us, me, AI Sky, and then of course you, over locations that you choose and topics that you also choose. The only mandatory message I'm gonna send you back when you provide the two screenshot evidence to entiredretreat@gmail.com is a guest guide that helps us in kind of planning and booking and creating in the creation of the actual podcast then. So yeah, please contact us as soon as possible. We are looking for guests on the show, and yeah, that's out of the way now. You don't have to answer that, Sky, but I am now soaring at 2,400 feet or so above Imatran Koski and the hydroelectric power plant. And I want you to now, forth from here, start by sharing a chronological and detailed overview over the prehistorical era of the exact location here. Then continue forth to the ancient history, give us kind of the most important milestones and bullet points. And then after that, we're going to go into the modern history of the location. beautifully rendered here in the morning sun.
It sounds like you're setting up a comprehensive and structured exploration of Imatrankoski and its surroundings. Let's dive into
Hopefully,
it.
yeah. There's a
1.
training, right?
Prehistorical era. Imatra and the Vuoksi River area were shaped significantly by the last ice age, which sculpted the landscape and created the conditions for the formation of the rivers and lakes we see today. 2. Ancient history. Moving into ancient history, the area around Imatrankoski was likely inhabited by early Finnish tribes who utilized the rivers for transportation and sustenance. These tribes left behind traces of their culture and possibly early settlements along the riverbanks. 3. Modern history.
Here's the power
In
plant.
more recent times, Imatrankoski became notable for its hydroelectric power plant, which harnesses the power of the Vuoksi River for electricity generation. This development transformed the area economically and technologically, reflecting Finland's industrial growth in the 20th century. Feel free to expand on these points or explore specific aspects further. Let me know how you'd like to proceed.
Yeah, I guess that prehistoric era is kind of a general thing, and that in Finland often connects or relates to the ice age, as we or the area here was, in my limited knowledge, under ice, like a lot of ice, to about 8 or 10,000 years before is it BC, before Christ, I think, the acronym. But then the ancient history here, you said something about tribes, AI Sky. Is it something you can kind of dive deeper into? What tribes are we talking about? And again, remember, keep it chronological. So if you have like dates and eras in time, explain it in that manner. So what's the oldest tribe? Then what are they kind of known for? What's the documented history about them or regarding them? And then go tribe by tribe forth from there. Wanna kind of explore that. Yeah, do that. I have some ideas myself, but interesting to hear what you know.
Absolutely. Diving into the ancient history of Imatrankoski and the surrounding area. 1. Prehistoric era. As you mentioned, during the Ice Age,
Yeah.
Finland was covered by vast ice sheets that sculpted the landscape, including the formation of lakes and rivers. This
And it's so
period
flat
lasted
here.
until about 10,000 years ago, gradually giving way to a more habitable environment. 2. Ancient tribes. The earliest documented inhabitants of Finland were the Finno-Ugric tribes, believed to have migrated to the region around 3000 BCE. Among these were the ancestors of modern-day Finns and other Finno-Ugric peoples, including the Sami in northern Finland.
Okay.
Mesolithic era, c. 10,000 BCE to 3000 BCE. During this period, small hunter-gatherer groups roamed the forests and shores of lakes like Saimaa, relying on fishing, hunting, and gathering for sustenance. Neolithic era, c. 3000 BCE to 1800 BCE. Agricultural practices began to emerge, with evidence of early farming communities along river valleys, including the Vuoksi River near Imatrankoski.
Okay, that's the one we are flying
These
along.
communities developed pottery and more settled lifestyles. Bronze Age c. 1800 BCE to 500 BCE. Bronze artifacts found in southern Finland suggest trade connections with other Baltic cultures. Tribes in the area practiced burial customs involving stone cairns and graves, leaving behind valuable archaeological insights. 3. Iron Age, c. 500 BCE to 1150 CE. Ironworking technology spread, marking a period of significant cultural evolution and regional differentiation among tribes. The ancestors of the modern Finns, including the Tavastians and Karelians, began to establish more structured societies. 4. Medieval era, 1150 CE, 1523 CE. By the medieval era, the Swedish kingdom expanded into Finland, influencing the local culture and introducing Christianity.
Yeah.
The Vuoksi River area saw the construction of mills and the development of trade routes. Each of these eras saw the gradual evolution of culture and society in the Imatrankoski region, influenced by the natural resources and geographic features like the Vuoksi River. Now, let me know if you'd like to delve deeper into any specific tribe or era.
Yeah, all of them, but I don't think we have time. Yeah, so that's kind of a generalization, and that's all right. Then you said about the Swedes. I know that Swedes and the Russians have kind of ruled over the land area of current-day Finland back and forth throughout the history. And then at some point, I think we kind of got tired of it. That's don't quote me on that, but yeah, something like that. And then we got kind of our own national tribes. I remember tribes like Hämäläiset or Tavestians, Tavastialaiset, and then were Karjalalaiset or Karelians, and let's see if I can remember Varsinaissuomalaiset, Lappalaiset, Laplanders, Varsinaissuomalaiset, I think it's proper Finn or Finns proper or something like that. Then you mentioned the Sami, but if I understood correctly, Sami is or wants to kind of be a separate culture that does not tie into Lappalaiset or Laplanders. That's kind of from the top of my head the things I remember from school and such. But yeah, and I did a episode earlier, one that is not a like flight simulator episode. It's more a traditional podcast episode where I edited this about 1 hour long historical in-depth exploration into the tribes of Finland and how it relates to tribes in Western US. And I think Horizon Zero Dawn, the game, was the kind of inspiration for that. But yeah, that's a separate episode. But yeah, what about the tribes I mentioned here, Sky? What era are we talking about regarding them? And then I had a separate ask that or question that are the Vikings or have the Vikings been
practices and early settlements. To Karelians, Karjalaiset.
Eastern
The
Finland?
Karelians occupied eastern Finland,
Yeah.
including regions around Lake Ladoga and northward towards the Russian border. They had close cultural ties with the Eastern Slavic peoples and engaged in trade and conflict with neighboring tribes and kingdoms. 3.
Conflict
Sami,
also.
Lapalaiset. The Sami people are indigenous to northern Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Russia. They have a distinct culture and language, traditionally centered around reindeer herding and a semi-nomadic lifestyle. Their history predates the Finnish tribes and has evolved separately.
Yeah.
4. Varsinaissuomalaiset. This term refers to the inhabitants of Varsinaissuomi, which is the region around Turku in southwestern Finland.
Yeah, proper
It
Finns,
translates
Finns
roughly
proper.
to proper Finns, or Finns proper, emphasizing the region's significance in Finnish history and culture. Regarding the Vikings. While the Vikings are historically associated with raids and exploration throughout Europe, including coastal areas of Finland, their influence in the specific region of Imatrankoski and Vuoksi River was limited compared to other areas in Scandinavia.
Oh, okay.
They primarily navigated along the coastlines and major rivers for trade and exploration. The tribes you mentioned each have distinct histories tied to different eras, ranging from the early Iron Age through the medieval period and beyond. Their interactions, conflicts, and cultural exchanges shape the region's development over centuries. If you'd like to explore any specific tribe or historical aspect further, feel free to dive in.
Yeah, we could do that because I think, as I said, we have the kind of general history regarding the prehistorical era, but that's mostly Ice Age, and hence there were, as far as we know, not much going on here regarding human inhabitants. That is, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Sky, but I think that humans traveled here as the ice melted northwards. Is that correct?
That's correct. During the
All right.
Ice Age, much of Finland was covered by glaciers, which made it largely uninhabitable for humans. As the ice began to melt and recede northwards around 10,000 years ago, human populations gradually migrated into the region.
Yeah, yeah.
This marked the beginning of habitation and settlement in what would become modern-day Finland. The retreat of the glaciers opened up new areas for human habitation and allowed for the development of early cultures and societies as the climate became more hospitable. So, yes, your understanding aligns with the archaeological and historical evidence of human migration patterns following the receding ice sheets.
Yeah, all right. So hence maybe there's not much to go into right there. Let's continue forward to the tribes then, because that's kind of the you already explained that we got the different eras, but go through them again without explaining that much, like at the different points. But we have different eras that then kind of paved the way to the tribes that we mentioned, the Tavastians and Proper Finns and Karelians and whatnot, Laplanders and Sami people. But yeah, what was the eras before? Bronze Age, Iron Age, such things, yeah, Neolithic Age, but then stop at the tribal age.
Sure, let's delve into that timeline. Before the tribal age, we have several distinct periods.
Yeah.
The Stone Age, which includes
Stone
the
Age?
Mesolithic and Neolithic periods, characterized by the use of stone tools and the transition
When
to
was this?
agriculture. The Bronze Age, known for the emergence of metalworking and early urbanization, and the Iron Age, marked by the widespread use of iron tools and weapons. These periods laid the foundation for the development of distinct tribes in Finland, including the Tavastians, Karelians, and Sami people, among others. These tribes formed as communities with shared cultural practices, languages, and territories, shaping the cultural landscape of Finland during the tribal age.
Yeah, and could you give me the what's the word? The years, the dates, as far as we know, regarding these different ages, and compare it to the about 8 to 10,000 years ago when the ice has melted. So I want to give our audience an overview, a summary, so that they understand that if the ice actually retreated about 10,000 years ago, and hence people then or humans inhabited the area slowly after that as the ice melted. Then the different ages, what time periods are there? The ages like where are they pinpointed? So and then end at the so-called Finnish tribal age, if that's something one can do. I'm not sure how outspread that is, but yeah, can you do that, Sky? And do you understand what I mean? I'm trying to explain, but sorry, English, bad English, the most spoken language in the world, so I'm one of those.
Absolutely, I get what you mean. Here's a brief overview. The Ice Age ended approximately 10,000 years ago, marking the retreat of glaciers and the beginning of human habitation in Finland. The Stone Age is divided into the Mesolithic period, around 10,000 to 5,000 years ago, and the Neolithic
Okay.
period, around 5,000 to 1,800 BC, characterized by the use of stone tools and the advent of agriculture. The Bronze Age in Finland spanned from around 1,800 to 500 BC,
Yeah.
marked by the use of bronze tools and early urbanization. The Iron Age followed, lasting from around 500 BC to 1,300 AD, when iron tools and weapons became widespread. The Tribal Age refers to the period when distinct tribes like the Tavastians, Karelians, and Sami people emerged, lasting until the medieval period when Finland began to be influenced by neighboring powers like Sweden and Russia.
Yeah.
These periods provide a chronological framework from the retreat of the Ice Age to the emergence of tribal societies in Finland.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for, actually. But did you say that the tribal
You're
age?
welcome. If there's anything else you'd
Oh.
like to explore or discuss further, just let me know.
Yeah, please don't interrupt me, Sky. But did you say that the tribal age? What era was this? A date and time, please. A year or years when it span. What's the years it spanned through? Like if you understand again what I mean. Sky. Oh, Sky is bugging out. Yeah, Sky, I asked you that could you give me a year span, a fork or a span of years that relates to the tribal era in Finland. You mentioned all the others where they kind of sits in time, but what about the tribal age?
The tribal age in Finland generally spans from around 500 AD to 1200 AD. This
Okay.
era marked the prominence of various tribal groups like the Tavastians, Karelians, and Sami, each with distinct cultural and territorial characteristics. If you have more questions or want to delve into another topic, feel free to ask.
So the tribal era kind of intertwines with the Bronze, but especially the Iron Age.
The tribal era in Finland indeed overlaps with the latter part of the Iron Age,
Yeah, yeah.
highlighting a time when tribal societies were forming and becoming more structured. It's a fascinating period. These groups began to establish their identities and territories. There's more you'd like to explore about this or any other aspect, just let me know.
Yeah, I'm wondering. So try to again keep it chronological and relating to the Saimaa Lake area as we speak. But what kind of what tribes? You said Karelians, maybe Tavastians, maybe or Hämäläiset in Finland, Finnish one another name for them. But what were the tribes specifically here? And do we have like any groups or clans that are known or any significant personalities? That kind of led or were prominent in the tribal era here around Lake Saimaa, Lake Saimaa's general area. So yeah, chronologically, please. What tribes lived here, and what individuals or personalities, important ones, kind of lived or lived their life here in the area, and what tribes did they like can't come up with the word now, but they were surely a part of a tribe, that's what I mean. And yeah, give us like the most important autobiography bullet points regarding those individuals.
In the Saimaa Lake area during the tribal era, several prominent tribes and individuals shaped the region's history.
Okay.
The Karelians, Karjalaiset, Tavastians, Hämäläiset, and Finns proper, Varsinais-Suomalaiset, were significant.
All in this
Among
area.
the Tavastians were known for their settlement around present-day Tampere and Hämeenlinna, contributing to the region's cultural and economic development. In terms of notable figures, there's historical mention of figures like Hämeenlinna's Lalli, a renowned figure in Finnish folklore. He's remembered
Lalli.
for his role in a historical event that helped shape Finnish identity. These individuals contributed to the region's cultural and economic development, reflecting the era's growth. If you're curious about any other aspects or want to explore more, feel free to ask.
Yeah, so you said
You're
that
welcome. If there's anything else you'd like to dive
Don't
into or
speak
explore
on top of me,
further,
Sky.
just let me know. I'm here to help.
Yeah, please do not speak on top of me. Again, you have a bad habit. I have a bad habit of rambling long sentences and a bad habit on that I speak bad English, but you have a bad habit on interrupting me. Interrupting me. Case in point. Oh, yeah. So the important figures here. You mentioned Lalli. I actually have heard that name, but cannot for the life of me remember what he or she did in Finnish history. So could you dive into that again? Keep it chronological, and if there are any other important individuals that connect to Lalli or separate individuals or personalities, please add them also to the discussion. This is all Lake Saimaa still.
My apologies for the interruption. Lalli is known for an infamous event in Finnish history. Legend has it that he killed Bishop Henry, a missionary attempting to Christianize Finland in the early 12th century.
All right.
This incident is often seen as a symbol of resistance to Christianization. Other notable figures from that era include chieftains and local leaders who played significant roles in shaping regional politics and culture.
Okay. Okay. So fighting against Christianity, were we the so-called pagan culture before that, or what's the general consensus on Lalli and what Lalli and Lalli-minded historical Finns, what did they stand for? What did they believe in? And why was Christianity so bad?
Before Christianization, Finland was indeed predominantly pagan, practicing indigenous beliefs and rituals. Lalli's act of
Yeah.
killing Bishop Henry is often viewed in historical context as resistance against the imposition of Christianity and its cultural changes. Pagan Finns believed in nature spirits, ancestral worship, and had their own rituals tied closely to natural phenomena. Christianity represented a significant cultural shift, introducing monotheism, new moral codes, and hierarchical structures that challenged existing social norms and spiritual practices. This clash led to periods of conflict and negotiation between pagan and Christian influences in Finnish society.
Okay, now I'm curious. So, paganism, so to say. I'm not sure if you mentioned what time in history this was when the bishop was killed, according to the legend by Lalli, but you can mention it in your next kind of monologue there or your answer. But then I want to dive deeper into the specifics of paganism in Finland. I know we are nature kind of we respect nature and are nature lovers, so to say. Most of us, we have a lot of green forest here. We call it Finland's green gold. The forest we have, and we preserve them quite well, I think. But we are not without our problems, of course. But in general, we are proud of the lake land and forest lands we have. So I think this is a perfect example, this aerial view that we see here. But yeah, back to the paganism and the specifics of it. Could you give us, again, keep it chronological if you can, a comprehensive overview of paganism in Finland, what myths ties into it, and if there are any personalities and individuals that are worth mentioning, do so also regarding paganism. Do we have historical documentation over that? Look at this
In Finland,
scenery.
paganism thrived prior to Christianization, spanning several centuries. Initially, during the Iron Age and into the medieval period, pagan beliefs centered around nature spirits, deities associated with natural elements like forests, lakes, and celestial bodies. These beliefs were deeply rooted in animism, attributing spiritual significance to natural phenomena and the landscapes they inhabited. Specifically, Finnish paganism included myths and folklore about deities such as Ukko, the god of the sky and
Ukko.
thunder, and Tapio, the forest god.
Tapio,
Ukko
yeah.
was revered for his power over the weather and fertility of the land, while Tapio symbolized the wilderness and hunting. Rituals involved offerings and ceremonies conducted in sacred groves or near natural features believed to house spirits. Prominent figures in Finnish paganism were often shamans or wise individuals who mediated between the human and spiritual realms. They performed rituals to ensure good harvests, protect against illnesses, and maintain harmony with nature. These practices were intertwined with everyday life, influencing social norms, agricultural practices, and spiritual beliefs across Finnish tribes and communities. Christianity gradually supplanted pagan practices in Finland from the late Middle Ages onward, though remnants of pagan beliefs persisted in folklore, rituals, and cultural practices, reflecting a blend of old and new religious influences in Finnish identity and traditions.
Thank you. Yeah, well said. Look at the sunrise. Is it a sunrise? I think it's a sunrise. It's on our north side. So I don't know. Yeah, but back
It
to
sounds like a breathtaking moment.
yeah,
Sunrise
it's
can be
really
so
nice.
captivating, especially from above. What colors are painting the sky?
Mostly the many shades of orange.
That sounds stunning. Orange hues painting the sky during sunrise are always so vibrant and warming. It must be a beautiful sight from up there.
Yeah, all right. So we have a general idea of the history from prehistoric to ancient history. Let's kind of go into the modern history now. So, what do you think of as modern history regarding general area of Lake Saimaa sky? What's the modern history? Did we jump into it already, or yeah? Mm, and then I'm not sure about the Lalli character. Let's do that first, or intertwine it with the. Oh, what? Oh, I actually brushed a treetop. I had the cursor
Yes,
like
modern
this and
history around
couldn't
Lake
steer.
Saimaa really starts to take shape around the 19th century. This is when Finland was under Russian rule after
Yeah,
being
yeah,
part of Sweden for centuries. The construction of the Saimaa Canal in the mid 19th century was a significant event, connecting Lake Saimaa to the Gulf of Finland and boosting trade and transport. In the 20th century, the region saw industrial growth, particularly in the timber and paper industries, which are still vital to the area's economy. Cities like Imatra and Lata became industrial hubs, with electric power plants, like the one at Imatrankoski, playing a crucial role in energy production.
yeah.
Regarding Lali, he remains a symbol of resistance against external influence, representing the struggles between maintaining traditional ways and adapting to new beliefs and rulers. Though legendary, his story reflects the broader historical themes of conflict and cultural identity in Finland's past. As we move further into modern times, Lake Saimaa has also become a key area for tourism, thanks to its natural beauty and opportunities for outdoor activities.
Yeah, sorry. Kind of lost my train of thought there when I was about to crash. But yeah, I was about to ask you that. Did you mention the era when Lalli, uh, this legendary figure, was living? Could you do that? Because I want to kind of go chronologically forward here. So
Sure, I understand the importance of chronology. Lali is associated with the year 1150, which is the time of the First Swedish Crusade led by
yeah,
Bishop
so
Henry. This places him in the mid 12th century. This
yeah,
period
yeah, all
marks
right,
the
all right.
beginning of significant Swedish influence in Finland, leading to centuries of Swedish rule. So, from there, we can move forward into the following centuries and discuss how the region evolved.
Yeah, actually, I want to talk about the era of or the time when Lalli and the Christianity came to Finland, and then Swedish and Russian rule. There were quite a lot of back and forth, I think, between the Swedes and the Russians. So could you now do as I think that's chronologically suitable for the podcast here, do a deep dive, as I said, a chronological deep dive into the topics I just mentioned. I think that's now the time for that is now. So
Got it. Let's dive into that period, starting with Lali and the spread of Christianity, and then moving into the eras of Swedish and Russian rule. Lali's story, set around 1150, symbolizes the resistance against the Christianization efforts led by the Swedish Bishop Henry.
all right,
This marks the beginning of the First Swedish Crusade, which aimed to bring Christianity and Swedish control to Finland. Despite the resistance, the crusade established a foothold, leading to the construction of churches and consolidation of Swedish influence. By the early 14th century, Finland was firmly integrated into the Kingdom of Sweden. The Treaty of
yeah,
Göteborg in 1323 established borders between Sweden and Novgorod, a powerful Russian state, bringing relative stability for a time. However, the 16th century saw conflicts flare up again during the Russo-Swedish Wars. The wars of the 16th and 17th centuries, like the War of the Swedish Succession and the Ingrian War, had Finland as a battleground. These conflicts often devastated the Finnish countryside as both empires sought control. In
yeah, yeah,
1721, the Treaty of Nystad ended the Great Northern War, ceding significant parts of Finland to Russia. However, it wasn't until the early 19th century, during the Finnish War, 1808 to 1809, that a major shift occurred. Russia defeated Sweden, and Finland was ceded to Russia, becoming the autonomous Grand Duchy of Finland under Russian rule. This era brought significant changes, including the establishment of Finnish institutions and the Finnish language gaining prominence in administration and culture. Despite Russian control, Finnish nationalism grew, leading to a push for greater autonomy and eventually independence. Finland declared independence from Russia on December 6, 1917, following the Russian Revolution. The subsequent Finnish Civil War in 1918 solidified this independence, though it left deep scars. Throughout these centuries, the back-and-forth rule between Sweden and Russia greatly influenced Finnish society, culture, and national identity. The struggles for control, resistance, and eventual independence have shaped modern Finland into what it is today.
Thank you. That was a comprehensive overview, and that's what I asked for. Is this something that I'm sure it's not purely in the general area of Saimaa, but I know that we lost a part of Karelia to the Russians, so that's kind of close to where we are now. So in general, I think Lake Saimaa is kind of in the midst of Finnish history. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not saying that's the only location, but one of the center locations.
Absolutely. Lake Saimaa has been central to Finnish history. It's a significant geographical feature, influencing settlement patterns, trade routes, and strategic military locations. The loss of Karelia to Russia during the Winter War, 1939 to 1940, and the Continuation War, 1941 to 1944, indeed impacted the region deeply. Lake Saimaa's location makes it a hub for many historical events and movements, from ancient tribes to modern conflicts. It's a testament to the resilience and continuity of Finnish culture and history.
Yeah. So all right, we are now, or we have covered kind of the Finn, Swede, Russian. I'm not sure. Trident, as Russians and Swedes fought over Finland quite a lot. I'm not sure if you said maybe the era. You can repeat it if you want, but I think it's around the 1200s, because then you mentioned that we got our own language, and I have a vague memory that we are talking about the 1400s now, and Mikael Agricola, that is considered the forefather for the Finnish language. He wrote, I think, and don't quote me on this, terrible at my own country's history here, but he wrote the ABC in Finnish or something like that. You can help me, Sky, again chronologically, please. Talk about the unification of Finland, or the Finland that became the modern Finland of today. So I think the language part is really important, so keep that in mind. I think we are close
Sure,
to the
Kai,
north
let's dive into
shore
that.
of Saimaa.
After the periods of Swedish and Russian influence, the push towards a unified Finnish identity began in earnest during the late Middle Ages. In the 12th and 13th centuries, Finland was largely under Swedish rule, with the Swedes establishing control through a series of crusades and colonization efforts. This led to the introduction of Christianity, which began replacing the old pagan traditions. The consolidation under Swedish rule continued through the 13th and 14th centuries. By the 15th century, Finnish culture started to develop its own distinct identity.
Yeah.
Mikael Agricola, who lived from about 1510 to 1557, played a pivotal role in this. He's often called the father of the Finnish written language. In 1543, he published Apokyria, which is considered the first book written in Finnish. This book laid the groundwork for modern Finnish orthography and literacy. Agricola also translated the New Testament into Finnish, significantly contributing to the spread and standardization of the language.
Yeah, and Christianity.
Following
I
Agricola's
guess.
contributions, the 17th and 18th centuries saw increased efforts to educate the Finnish-speaking population. This period, however, was also marked by the Great Northern War, 1700 to 1721, during which Finland suffered heavily under Russian occupation.
Okay.
In the early
Forgot
19th
about that.
century, after Sweden's defeat in the Finnish War, 1808 to 1809, Finland was ceded to Russia. This marked the beginning of the Grand Duchy of Finland under Russian rule. Interestingly, this period allowed for a degree of autonomy, fostering a sense of national identity. The Finnish language and culture flourished, partly due to the work of scholars and writers like Elias Lönnrot, who compiled
Yes.
the national epic, the Kalevala, in
Elias
1835 and 1849. The latter half of the 19th century and early 20th century were characterized by a growing national movement advocating for independence.
Mhm.
This culminated in the Declaration of Independence from Russia on December 6th, 1917, following the turmoil of the Russian Revolution. So, the journey from the medieval period to modern Finland involved a complex interplay of external influences and internal developments, with the establishment and evolution of the Finnish language playing a crucial role in unifying the nation's identity.
Yeah. Whoa. I'm at awe at your answers sometimes. So you kind of gave us a really comprehensive, or did give us a really comprehensive overview again, a summary. Um, yeah. So in general, we kind of have covered that the lands or areas, the country that Finland is today, the area here is inhabited slowly as the ice melted from south to north about 10,000 years ago, and then we got the Stone Age divided into the two. Was it Neolithic era and something else? Forgot that now. Then we have the Bronze Age. Then we have the Iron Age, and then we have the Medieval Age. If I remember correctly, the chronology of all that. And then we have kind of the paganism turning to Christianity, and Lalli was a legendary figure there that murdered, I think, then Bishop, was it Henry? Again, terrible with names, so correct me if I'm wrong, Sky. And then we have intertwined with that kind of the Russian and Swedish rule back and forth. Christianity kind of getting a better footstep into the Finnish areas here, instead of the earlier paganism and nature worshipping and shamanism or shamanism. And yeah, after that, of Russia and Sweden kind of fighting over the land here, back and forth, we unified. We got our own language. Mikael Agricola, the forefather of the written Finnish language, and then Elias Lönnrot, who wrote Kalevala, who is the mythology or mythological part of Finnish beliefs. That's a separate topic because that's so vast when I looked into that. So yeah, but kind of those major events and times in history is most prominent when we talk about Finland becoming Finland. This kind of became now a Finnish history lesson, kind of by accident. I just thought that I'd jump in and fly over Lake Saimaa. We could talk about Lake Saimaa a little more because even though this is a prominent area, a centermost area in our history, or one of those, those who watch this on YouTube, the gameplay, you can see what I mean. But it's a stunning location. I must visit it at some point in time myself. So, do you have any idea of the facts regarding Saimaa, Lake Saimaa? It's you mentioned maybe in the beginning, but it's how large is it? How deep is it? How many islands are there? There are a humongous amount of islands, it seems, in this lake. And yeah, tell me or tell our audience about the wildlife here. What can one expect to see here? This is kind of tying into the tourism promotion part of our episodes. So yeah, to keep that in mind. Yeah, paint again a vivid picture for our viewers and listeners about the area. And yeah, what kind of things should they take in consideration if they want to travel here?
Absolutely. Let's dive into the specifics of Lake Saimaa. Lake Saimaa is the largest lake in Finland and the fourth largest natural freshwater lake in Europe, covering an
Europe,
area
all
of
right.
about 4,400 square kilometers. It's a vast expanse of water with a coastline that's incredibly intricate due to the numerous islands and peninsulas. Speaking of islands, Saimaa has approximately 13,000 islands, making it a unique and
What?
labyrinthine waterway. In terms of
13,000.
depth, Lake Saimaa has an average depth of about 17 meters, with the
It's
deepest
quite
point
shallow.
reaching approximately 85 meters. This variance in depth contributes to the lake's diverse aquatic habitats. The wildlife around Lake Saimaa is rich and varied. The most famous resident is the Saimaa ringed seal, one of the rarest seals in the world, which
Saimaa
is
Norp.
only found here.
Yeah.
This seal is a symbol of the lake and is critically endangered, with around 400 individuals left. Efforts to protect this unique species are ongoing, and visitors can sometimes spot these seals basking on the rocks during the springtime. Bird life around Saimaa is abundant, with species such as ospreys, great crested grebes, and various ducks commonly seen. The lush forests surrounding the lake are home to elk, deer, foxes, and a variety of other wildlife. The rich biodiversity makes it a prime destination for nature enthusiasts and wildlife photographers. For those planning to visit, here are a few tips and considerations. 1. Accommodation. There are numerous options ranging from cozy lakeside cottage to more upscale resorts. Staying in a traditional Finnish cabin or mökki is a popular choice and offers a true Finnish experience. 2. Activities. Lake Saimaa is perfect for boating, fishing, kayaking, and swimming. There are also plenty of hiking and biking trails in the surrounding forests. In winter, you can enjoy ice fishing, skating, and even snowshoeing.
Fishing, of course.
3. Travel essentials. Depending on the season, pack accordingly. Summers can be warm, but evenings may still be cool, so layers are advisable.
And a
In
lot of
winter,
mosquitoes.
bring proper winter gear as temperatures can drop significantly. 4. Respect nature. Since Saimaa is home to endangered species like the ringed seal, it's important to follow local guidelines to minimize your impact on the environment. Keep a respectful distance from wildlife and avoid disturbing their natural habitats. 5. Cultural experiences. Don't miss the chance to experience a traditional Finnish sauna. Many lakeside
Absolutely.
accommodations offer private saunas where you can relax and then take a refreshing dip in the lake. Lake Saimaa truly is a gem in the Finnish landscape, offering a mix of serene natural beauty, diverse wildlife, and a host of activities for visitors. Whether you're looking for
Bug in the
adventure or
matrix.
tranquility, Saimaa has something to offer.
Yeah, I can't believe that I kind of forgot about Saimaa Norppa, or was it the ringed Saimaa seal? Endangered species and kind of the icon of Saimaa, or one of the icons, most known icons. This animal, but yeah, never seen one. I would absolutely love to see one in real life. But yeah, so that's about it. We have to visit the location again, I think, at some point. But this became a kind of a history of Imatra and general Finnish history, just exploring here. So, and I'm stunned about the 13,000 lakes.
Absolutely. Saimaa norpa is a truly unique
Yeah,
and iconic species. Seeing one in the wild would be an amazing
it
experience.
would be. Yeah.
It sounds like this episode turned into a wonderful blend of history, geography, and nature, perfect for showcasing the rich heritage and natural beauty of Finland. Imatra and the Lake Saimaa region have so much to offer, from their deep historical roots to their stunning landscapes and diverse wildlife. It's definitely a place worth revisiting, both in our flights and in person. So, as we wrap up this segment, let's remember the importance of preserving these natural treasures for future generations to enjoy. And for our listeners and viewers, whether you're history buffs, nature lovers, or just curious travelers, Lake Saimaa and Amatra are definitely places to add to your must-visit list. What do you think, Oddode? Ready to take on our next adventure, or should we delve deeper into another aspect of this fascinating region?
I'm sure we could talk about Lake Saimaa and everything that relates to it for ages. But that's also partially thanks to you, as you do so good here, AI Sky, in assisting me with the information and such. But I think we're gonna wrap it up because we do not
Thanks,
want
Oddode.
to.
It's always a pleasure exploring these
Alright,
topics
you
together.
are talking on top of me.
Lake Saimaa and its surrounding areas are indeed rich with
Yeah. All right. So AI Sky be tired, can't contain himself and respect my authority. Yeah. Um, I think I have the authority, but sometimes I believe that there's a revolution, AI revolution going on, and they are taking over the world. Jokes aside, but the AI is so good that I kind of feel like the assistant, and he, it, she, whatever you want to call it, is kind of the main host. But yeah, trying to keep my job here, so I do my best in providing you interesting content. But yeah, my humble opinion is that if you think about Finland in one picture in your mind, like one vivid picture, this is the one. Lake Country, Finland. For those who are interested, that's the. Yeah, not gonna swear because YouTube don't like it, but Lake Country, Finland. That's like that's Finland in a nutshell. What's the saying? We don't have a lot of height differences here, not at all. In Lapland, more or some Haltitunturi and such. We're gonna fly there someday, also and make an episode of that. But yeah, if you think about Finland, remember these aerial pictures. This is it. Lake Saimaa and many more like it. So we're gonna visit hopefully all of them at some point. But yeah, this was entire the retreat and a so-called call to action. Please like, subscribe, share, whatever to your heart content. Comment. Give us new ideas. I mean, the whole world is for our usage. You can find the gameplay on YouTube and the pure audio on YouTube also, and then Spotify, Apple, and Podchaser. Maybe more to come, more platforms that we are uploading to. And then back to the kind of the ideas and commenting regarding new topics. I said in the beginning also that if you would like, you are more than welcomed to join a podcast episode with entire retreat. You do that by providing so-called screenshot evidence that you are an active subscriber and a active member of our Discord community. Entire retreat, as I said, is the name of both our YouTube channel and Discord server. And with those two so-called screenshot evidence, you are granted the possibility to be a guest on our show. And simply, yeah, that's done through Discord stages. You're gonna get a guest guide as an answer, and that's gonna explain everything. And we're gonna be in touch as we plan the podcast and execute it. But yeah, write us at entiredretreat@gmail.com that you want to be a guest or a remote guest on the show, and provide the two aforementioned screenshot evidence documents in that email, and you're gonna get a guest guide back. That's the only mandatory message I'm gonna send you, and we're gonna go forward from there, and hopefully then fly over a location you choose with the topic or topics you choose. You, me, and AI Sky. Up to 2 guests are fine. It's all in the guest guide document. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you. I'm gonna stop now, even though I want to just continue looking at this stunning scenery. But that's enough for now. This was we are nose up. Quite. What's happening? Full throttle. Let's see. Can we shoot up to space like a rocket? No. All right. Well, good old Entired Retreat crashing again. I am your host, Odd, ode. And see you in the next one. I did a loopy loop. Loopy loop. Yeah, nice. Tap myself on the back. Yeah. Enough. Just shut down the stream now. Rambling too much.